Good morning, everybody. This is Frank Lardino from Ant Properties. Had an interesting thing happen to me today. I did a listing presentation a couple weeks ago. I took a walk through the home in a subdivision that I market in that I know very well. I've been through pretty much every home in the subdivision. At the end of the meeting, the potential seller wanted my price opinion on the house. At that juncture, I felt the range of the house was between $375 and $400. Well, the seller had a different number in mind, and she was not happy with the number I gave her. She asked me if I knew what she paid for the house, and I did. Well, how can I sell the house for $370 to $400? And I explained to her why. This is what the market value is. I showed her the comparable sales. I tried to help her interpret the data. Make a long story short, this morning I saw the house was listed for $559,000, which is insanely crazy. There's a home right across the street that just went on the market for $550,000. And the home is almost double the size and it's more updated. I was a little disturbed about it, but I really thought about, the whole listing homes for well above market value. There's a bunch of reasons why an agent shouldn't take a listing like that and a seller shouldn't list their home well above market value. On the agent side, it's almost unethical. It's regarded as unethical in many circles, mine included, to take a listing for substantially over market value. Many agents will do this because they're trying to attract someone who calls off the sign and asks for a price. If they give them the price over the phone, the buyer usually will be turned off because they're looking at the property and they can see that it's really not worth that $550,000. And at that juncture, the agent's trying to make a client out of the buyer. That's really not why you should be listing properties for people to attract buyers like that. You should be listing the property and actively trying to sell the property. And if the property is, the seller wants to list it at a higher price, a price that's not going to, really be sellable, you shouldn't take the listing. From the seller's perspective, I could say, if you're just fishing for some, miraculous buyer, it's really not ever going to happen. You need to have a property that at least the price can be justified. Many reasons for that. One, if it's a conventional buyer looking to buy with a loan, it's never going to appraise out at value. Number two, if your house is priced moderately too high to very high, your viewing traffic is going to happen in your first usually 21 days. Once that 21 days has come and gone, and in this particular case, I don't believe they'll get any showings, you've lost 80% of the potential buyers. They move on, and then your property gets stigmatized, which means it has a long market time, and that will turn buyers off immediately. So if they can't justify coming to see your home by looking at the pictures and the price, then they certainly won't come after 21, 30, 40, 50 days of market time. They'll say, well, there must be something wrong with that house. The listing becomes stigmatized. So for sellers, I always recommend at the time I do the listing presentation and give my price opinion, I'll give them a range, and I'll say if you want to go a little bit above your range, you can, but the market is going to tell us if we're too high. The feedback from the agents is going to tell us we're too high. And at that juncture, I would hope you would want to make a price adjustment to get the house sold. This is Frank Lardino on listing homes well above market value. I don't advise it for an agent to take a listing, and I don't advise the sellers to list the house at too high of a market price. It just doesn't do anybody good, and it's really a waste of everyone's time. I'm available to speak about strategy for sellers and how to list your home, how to get the most exposure and syndicate your listings the correct way. We at Ant Properties, we have the winning formula. We sell properties faster than anybody in Northern Illinois and at a higher percentage of asking price than anyone in Northern Illinois. I'd be happy to share our formula with you. I'm at franklardino.com. or 630-774-0647. Call me anytime. I'd love to talk with you. Have a great day, everybody.